I'm Boyd Polhamus, standing with the legend Bob Tallman. Here we are at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas, Nevada. You know what it is. Every December, the best cowboys in the world qualify to come here. We feature the best livestock in the world. And of course, in order to make it all happen right, we also use the best equipment. Priefert livestock handling equipment. The buck always starts here. And Bob, you've had a lot of experience with Priefert. You've been involved in a multitude of different livestock industries. How important is Priefert to what you've done with your career?
Well, it makes a lot of difference in my personal career, my livestock career, as well as our rodeo career. And Boyd, you know that we go back to 2005 at the PBR Finals, 2006 at the Wrangler National Finals. But when you think about the Wrangler NFR, the PBR World Finals, the Priefert World Champion Team Roping Finals, when we go to a finals and know that we're going to have this kind of equipment on our minds, it makes a lot of difference in how the production's going to flow. We're going to talk about safety to animals and people. We're going to talk about the investment and how you get it back. But you know, when we go to those ultimate type of competitions, it's going to be smooth.
Well, and for me, I could just have personal experiences in mind, not just with my own, back when I was raising bucking bulls. But for example, there's 3 rodeos that come to mind for me, and they all got better the minute they employed a Priefert livestock handling system. I'm going to just give you some examples. Monte Vista, Colorado is the oldest outdoor rodeo in Colorado, and by the way, their pens lived up to it. They went to Priefert. They totally redesigned their system. You know what happened? More great cowboys entered their rodeo because the producer could bring better animals because it was safer and they could move the rodeo along a lot quicker. Then, you go to Fort Madison, Iowa, that had back pins that were suitable, but they needed new left-hand and right-hand deliveries. So they went and got a Priefert system that was painted just like you'd have your car painted to match their facility. And the next thing you know, the same thing happened. Things sped up with the rodeo production and more and better cowboys entered because the producer was able to bring bigger livestock. So then San Angelo, okay? You got an indoor coliseum owned by the city. So it's not a permanent facility owned by the community or owned by the rodeo committee, so they had to get a custom configuration. They go to Priefert. Priefert's got a computer where you give them the dimensions of their arena, they lay it out, they build the system, and all 3 of those rodeos, San Angelo, one of the major ones in our industry, along with Fort Madison, Iowa, the Tri-State Rodeo, and then of course Monte Vista, Colorado, all 3 of those rodeos got better simply because they didn't cut corners when it come to acquiring the best livestock handling equipment in the business.
I'm so glad to have you use those 3 examples, and I've got one at Fort Worth, Texas. But as Boyd would say, I have a caveat to add to that. When you said painted, they're powder coated. For those of you that have outdoor arena areas, and they're going to always be outdoors, how would you like to have that kind of a finish 20 years from now? Now, I'm not telling you if you don't touch them up once in a while, don't take care of them, but 20 years from now to have this. A lot of rodeos had wooden bucking chutes, and then they went to iron bucking chutes, and then they were homemade, so forth and so on. Fort Worth, Texas, one of the top 5 rodeos in the country, but you have to understand that we take the livestock in and out every night. So it's not just the bucking chutes and the roping chutes and the slide alleys are where we load the right number of cattle. It's a very small configuration in Will Rogers Coliseum. And what we had to do is personally design that Coliseum to fit the space they had because we were limited. We go to the rope and chute end to store cattle ahead of the rodeo because we don't have back pins, there's box seats behind them. Then to be able to take them out the other end and then go out in the back area where they're first handled, kept overnight sometimes, other times just brought in, handled, put in, and taken out. There is nothing like a Priefert design. And as Boyd mentioned, computerized design. Give us a confined area, give us the chance to show you how to work more cattle in less space, and you won't believe the outcome because of Priefert's design.
And the other thing is please don't tell yourself you can't afford it. Okay, please, because I got to tell you, you can't afford not to have it. And folks, I've seen lesser systems. I've seen animals buck and roll over backwards, cowboys get injured. I've seen bulls hang a leg right here where you'll never hang it on a Priefert chute. The bottom line is this: you can't afford not to have a quality livestock handling system. And I don't care if you only have 1 rodeo year or if you have 20 events. If you're starting with a youth rodeo, you need safety for your kids, okay? And if you're going to have a big-time pro rodeo, you need safety for the big-time cowboys that come there, or they're going to quit coming.
Think about it. Wrangler National Finals, PBR World Finals, all of the big ropings in the country, and Boyd and I go to those as well. How about the BFI, the Bob Feist Invitational? They sped up 12 seconds per run on 700 runs the first time we put a Priefert rope and chute in. Now, of course, Boyd and I don't ride bucking horses anymore, and we'd like to think that we're ropers, but we're going to talk about your pen at home. Even if you only get a Priefert roping chute, if your wife or your kids won't come let them out, we'll teach you how to do that as well.
Yeah, they're totally automated. Look, folks, the bottom line is don't do anything. Don't make a purchase of a livestock handling system without calling Priefert first. You want to know why? Because the buck starts here.
It's made by ranchers for ranchers. So you got 2 acres and a llama. It's okay. It's perception. Have the best, you'll be the best.